good old Matt Gaetz had to have his say on the Supreme Court's anticipated assault on the access to abortion. And of course, the Florida congressman used his voice to attack educated women. Gaetz tweeted this: how many of the women rallying against overturning Roe are overeducated, underloved millennials who sadly return from protest to a lonely microwave dinner with their cats and no Bumble matches? Now, Gaetz, well, he is profoundly anti-abortion, yet he also opposed legislation expanding access to other forms of healthcare, something that would seem to really not seem to jive well, especially if you are here for forcing individuals to give birth. There's also something else that makes Gaetz' tweet about single women his age rather, shall we say, pathetic, per Vanity Fair. The very important context that this tweet was written by a guy currently under investigation for allegedly paying women for sex and separately sleeping with a minor and transporting her across state lines. Yeah, that would really seem to explain why Gaetz' tweet was ratioed to hell on Twitter. Fellow tweeters took him to task, including this one at Betty Bowers, who tweeted, Matt Gaetz thinks most women are overeducated because he doesn't like women old enough to have a high school diploma. Cenk, would you say that that's kind of on point?
Yeah, both sides of his quote are amazing in their hypocrisy. Underloved millennials, dude, you had to pay for sex. Okay, I'm okay with sex work generally, but you don't get to go around saying other people are underloved when you have to literally pay people to love you, even for a night. So he says, oh well, look, I don't know about the underage thing and crossing state lines, etc. I guess he says that. I can't wait to see him under testimony, but I don't think that there's any dispute that he paid for sex, and so bragging about how others are underloved and is just a tad ironic to say the least. But to me, the other part of the quote was more interesting. These overeducated women. I mean, look at that, guys. That's what Republicans think. They think you don't want your women too educated. You want them dumb so that they believe you when you take away their rights and you make them serve you. Women, this is who you want to vote for? You want to vote for someone who says, I wouldn't want you to be smart and overeducated and then have your own agency and your own power and be able to control your own lives. I would want you destitute and dependent upon me so I could tell you and command you to do whatever I want. Disgusting. And you ought to have your head examined if you're a woman voting for Republicans.
Absolutely, and it's so weird too, because I remember seeing Marjorie Taylor Greene with her white nationalists who were, cheering her on out of one side of their mouth, and then on the other side, they're saying how, she's a woman, and really disparaging her because, she is female. And it's also very interesting too, how people don't fully appreciate the fact that there's a reason our country doesn't really invest in education, because they want a working class of people who are not going to push back, who are not going to challenge, who are not going to in any way interfere with the 1% keeping the majority of the wealth. And Gaetz seems to really exemplify all of these things in his statements criticizing overeducated women, because the more knowledge and education you have, the more likely it is that you will challenge the system, that you will speak up, and also that you will not want to get with Matt Gaetz, him and his raggedy self.
Look, Matt Gaetz's quote is not just telling women, hey, I don't want you to be smart, I don't want you to get an education. It's also damning of men. Because how pathetic do you have to be as a man that you can't have a woman that's too educated? Why don't you just tell on yourself? Why don't you say, hey, I'm a dummy, and if a woman is smart, I won't be able to handle her. I'm too pathetic. I'm too dumb. So I need someone who's just as uneducated as I am. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, that's pathetic. You know what I want? I want a really smart woman. And so that I can have a conversation with her, so we can live life together and share together, and not be plants or vegetables. I don't want to order people around. I want to share things. But if you're a right winger, you're so insecure, so sad that you think, oh my God, if women are educated, they would never want me. And that's really the saddest thing I've ever heard.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.